Big welcome everyone. So we're always getting lots of questions when it comes to Halloween. We're obviously all dressed in Halloween attire here today. How to make Halloween bows. So this is florist ribbon which you can purchase locally, maybe from your local flower shop. Obviously if you're here on our courses at the school, we supply all your ribbons and obviously all your scissors to you. So the florist ribbon I have here in front of me today is orange and black. And what I'll do is I'll start off with a simpler bow where I'll just do it in one colour. But I will do another tutorial later on and I'll show you how you can combine it into two colours. If you want to grab a notebook and pen, it's probably worth taking a few little notes while you watch this tutorial. But remember, you can always rewind it and you can watch it again. If you're watching this tutorial on Facebook, I do recommend share it to your own page and then you'll always be able to find it and it'll probably pop up in your memories next year and you'll always have it to look back on. So first of all, with the florist ribbon, you need what we call 4 arm stretches. I call it an arm stretch because I measure from one shoulder, the length of my arm. So that's what I call an arm stretch. Now to some people that might be a metre, and to other people that might be a yard. And I know I'm blessed with exceptionally long arms, so my yard or my metre is probably longer than everybody else's. You'll kind of have to experiment with this and see how it works. So there's our first arm stretch. So you need 4 of them. So there's your second one, your third one, and your fourth one. And be very casual about measuring. If it's a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, it doesn't make any difference at all. The next thing you need is to tie up the bow. You need another length of ribbon. Now it depends, what are you going to tie this bow on? If you're going to maybe tie balloons together, because normally at Halloween that's what people are doing, they're getting orange and black balloons and they're tying them together, you probably need a length of ribbon about that length there and it's fine. If you want to maybe tie it onto the trees or the bushes outside, you probably would love loads and loads of strings coming out of it, so maybe a length of ribbon a little bit longer, do you know that way? So you can adjust this length of ribbon to any length. If we were doing this in a flower shop and we just wanted to tie it onto a bouquet of flowers for Halloween, a shorter strip would do. So I'm going to go for that length, and you needn't worry about what measurement that is because, as I said, it can be longer or shorter. Now we're back to the bow. So with the ribbon, the 4 yards, the 4 metres, the 4 arm stretches, you're going to make a circle, okay? So just loop one of the edge of the ribbons, you see inside there, to make yourself a circle. Now the size of that circle, and I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller, is to be what we call 8 inches or 20 centimetres. Now some people are there saying, still haven't got a clue. What is 8 inches and what is 20 centimetres? Do most of you know what an A4 page looks like? You know, a typing page. Well, the width of the typing page, and not the length, okay? The width of the typing page is just over 8 inches. So if you were to measure that circle of ribbon against the width of a typing page, that's the size that you need. So 8 inches, 20 centimetres. You're then going to roll it around, you see, making a circle, using up all of the ribbon. But there is a trick in doing this, because normally what happens is the first part keeps falling out. So I'm going to show you the little tricks as we go along. The palm of your hand, the bottom hand, as it comes up, if that's always looking at your chin or at your face, you're going the right direction. So watch this. As I bring the ribbon up, can you see the way the palm of my hand is looking at my chin? Now watch the bottom hand. As I bring it up, it's looking at my chin. Now watch the bottom hand. As I bring it up, it's looking at my chin. As I bring it up, it's looking at my chin. So that's one trick. The second trick is watch my thumbs. And that's why I'm recommending that you'll probably have to rewind this video and watch it again. Or if you share it to your Facebook page, you'll be able to find it real easy, okay? So as I bring my hand up to my chin, my thumb closes over. Now watch the other hand. As I bring it up to meet my chin, my thumb closes over. And basically I call that tidy up the ribbon. You see the way I'm kind of like tidying it up? And bring it up again, tidy up the ribbon. But when I do it fast, you don't notice what I'm doing. If you find the circle is going a little bit big, you can just tighten that up a little bit there to get back to your 8 inches, 20 centimetres approximately. The first thing people always say to me, how many times, Janette, did you wrap that around your hands? I never count it, okay? It's always 4 yards, 4 meters, or 4 arm stretches, and I wind it in that circle until it's all gone. A little tip for you. Wherever the ribbon finishes, okay, now there'll be 2 what we call raw edges. One will be the end of the ribbon, and the one is on the inside, which is the beginning of the ribbon. If you could work it, that acts at the top here, do you see, like up around that area. But now don't lose sleep over it, it's not important. Because it's impossible for me to control the one that's in the middle. So the thing is, it's not going to make a huge difference, so don't worry about it. The circle of ribbon, you can see the way I'm kind of gripping it in my finger and my thumb there. You're going to fold that over in half. But as you fold it over, you're going to crease it on the fold. Now it's really, really important that when you crease that you're only creasing on the folded part of the bow. At the beginning, some people will be tempted to squash in there or squash in there. They're actually going to be the loops of the bow. And with this ribbon, once you crease it, the crease doesn't come back out again. So it's really important that you don't crease that area. The folded part of the bow, kind of place it that it's away from your stomach. Do you see that direction there? So don't have it that the fold is into your stomach, away from your stomach. And that's more from a safety point of view. With your scissors, and you need a good sharp scissors, you're going to cut out a triangle. Now I normally hold it this way, so I'm actually cutting away from myself for safety. But because I need you to see the corner that I'm cutting off, I'm going to hold it in the air like this. So I'm cutting off one corner of the ribbon. And be careful, because there's a lot of ribbon and the scissors is sharp. You're then going to turn the bow upside down or back to front, whatever way you want to describe that, around to the other side. So because the scissors is, I'm in my right hand, the scissors is in my right hand, so it's easier. I now want to cut this corner off. Now when I cut this corner off, I need to leave a little piece in the centre, okay? So watch me. So I'm cutting off this corner, but don't go right in, just leave a little piece still in the centre. Now again, it's quite tiny, it's hard for you to see it. It's less than ½ centimetre, it's tiny. Now I'm going to turn it upside down just so that you can see the shape that I've just made, right? So it's like a bikini bottoms, or as we say, a pair of knickers, you know, that way. High legs, kind of sexy, with a little bit in the middle. Now if there's any men watching, we normally say we're making a dicky bow. So there we have our dicky bow with the little narrow piece in the centre. A little tip for you. The narrower that piece is in the centre, the better the bow. So if you leave a big lump in the middle, the bow is not going to be neat and tidy afterwards. Now we're ready to add our strings, or our tails. So that's this length of ribbon. And as I said earlier, that can be any length. There is no back and front to this bow at the moment. So you decide which is going to be the front and which is going to be the back. There's absolutely no difference at all. This piece of ribbon is going to be placed lengthways. And I'm going to place it on what I call the front of the bow because it's looking at you, so we call it the front, right? So that's just going to lay in there at the front of the ribbon. And I'll just turn around so that you can see the back. Now off one side of that extra piece of ribbon, you're going to use the top of your fingers or the top of your nails, and you're going to tear a tiny little piece off it. I'll show you later, but this ribbon tears really easy. So just tear that off. Now don't worry about trying to fix this and getting it even or more centred. It won't make any difference at all. This narrow piece of ribbon is going to lay horizontal across the dicky bow shape. So the other one was going lengthways with the bow, this one is going sideways. The trick now is to get someone to tie down 2 skinny pieces together in a double knot really, really tight. Now obviously you can't put your hands through the camera and do it for me, so I have to do it myself. So I have a little trick. What I normally do is I fold the bow kind of down in half. I rest it against my tummy, my spare tire, and that just gives me a hand, you see, an extra hand, to hold the bow while I tie a knot with my fingers. Now as I tie the knot, I'm going to pull that really, really tight. So squeeze the hell out of it, and then I'm going to tie a second knot on top of it. Now if you don't need this bow till next week or whenever your Halloween party is, don't open the bow till you actually need it, because it'll store better closed like I have it. And that's the longest part, is making the bow. The opening part is the easy part. So the day of your event or the day before the event, then you can open out the bow. There's a trick in doing this as well. So you have your fingers, okay, and your thumbs. So both fingers are going to go through one of the loops. So either pick the loop on this end or the loop on that end. It makes no difference at all which one you pick, right? So both 4 fingers on that hand and 4 fingers on that hand are going into the loop. You always pull the inside loop, right? So that's important. So write that down in your notebook. It's the inside loop that you pull. And when you pull the loop out, you either pull it in the direction of your chest or in the direction of your chest, okay? So I'll always describe this as I'm twisting it to me and I'm twisting it to you, you being the audience. The ribbon is kind of slippy and slidey, so I often feel it's easier, or what I do is I wet the top of my fingers. Now I forgot to get a little container beside me, so excuse me while I just lick my fingers. So now I'm back inside and I'm pulling the loop that's on the inside, which happens to be the beginning of the ribbon. Do you remember the tail piece that I started off with, okay? So as I pull that out, the mistake people do is they just go to the side. You don't. You twist it to your own chest. That's really important. And when you twist it to your chest, you kind of say, you stay down there. You then get the next one. So you pull the inside loop from the same side, but as I pull it out, I twist it to you. And again, stay down there. The next one, I twist it to me. Stay down there. The next one, I twist it to you. Stay down there. Do you see the twisting? You know what I mean? So that's really important. So it's 1 to me and it's 1 to you. And 1 to me and 1 to you. Until all them loops are pulled out. And you can see the way the loops are all going in different directions. Where if you were to pull them to the side, they'd go back inside each other. Turn the whole bow upside down. Ignore that. One is the beginning and one is the end of the ribbon. Do you remember I pulled one out earlier on? I'll show you how to fix them later on. You do the same thing. Both hands inside. Lick your fingers discreetly. Pull the inside loop. As you pull it out, twist it to me. The next one, twist it to you. The next one, twist it to me. The next one, twist it to you. So just so you can see it from a side view. You know that way. Give them a good pull backwards and forwards. That's what makes the bow roundier and fluffier. So there is one of the straight pieces, you know, that I finished with. I'm going to fold it over in half and I'm going to do a 45-degree cut up into the centre, and that gives like what we call the dove cut, dovetail. And that was the other one. Do you know when I pulled out the loops, that was the other tail. So again, I'm just going to fold that over in half and I'm going to do a 45-degree angle cut up into the centre of it. Could do with a sharper scissors doing this. And there we go, we got our little dovetail. Now the 2 narrow pieces of ribbon that I tied in the double knot. Do you remember when I said to you, will you tie this loop for me? That normally then would be where you tie it on. So whether it's onto your balloons or onto your bush or your hedge, you use them strings. And as I said, you could have made them any length. The 2 thicker ones, they're the extra piece of ribbon that we added in. Do you see the way you can kind of chuck them and you have them pulling downwards in your bow? If you like, and especially if you're going to be hanging them outside, I prefer to tear them really thin as well. And I did say to you at the beginning, I'll show you where this ribbon tears really easy. Just literally force the top of your fingers or your nails into the ribbon and just slide your fingers down it. And I find then if that's been tied on a bush, can you see the way when the breeze gets at it? And obviously you can get your balloons, tie them together. But wouldn't it be lovely if you had orange and black balloons and you had an orange and black bow? So watch this space and I'll come back on again and I'll show you how to do the bow in 2 colours. Thanks for watching.